Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 6 and today we would like to present about Al-Ghazali's argument against eternity of the universe. My name is Nur Afifah binti Jasri and my metric number is 1728432 and I will be the first presenter and I will presenting about an event in Al-Ghazali's life. In his early year, he studied with the most famous scholars in theology, which is Abu Ma'ali al-Juwaini. Then he has been appointed as the chief professor by Nizam al-Mulk in Nizamiyah College. He reached fame in debate and to the realization that fame leaves an emptiness to his life. He debates with those of other faiths, philosophers, Jewish, Christian scholars, and he also debate with people from other sections like Batiniah. Then because of this debate, it led him to start questioning his own belief. He questioned his faith to the point of doubting for entire 2 months, and due to this reason, he decided to secluded himself from people. He traveled for 10 years to Damascus, Mecca, Madinah and Jerusalem. While in seclusion, he wrote his masterpiece, which is known as Ihya Ulumuddin, Revival of the Sciences of Faith. He saw that the goal of these sacred sciences has dwindled to debate, seeking fame and position. People had forgotten what the objective of sacred knowledge was. In the spirit of reviving the objectives of sacred knowledge, he became a reformer and revivalist. And soon he became one of the greatest thinkers in his era, which gave rise to spiritual and intellectual birth of people like Salahuddin al-Ayyubi. Now I will proceed with Al-Ghazali's contribution to the issue on eternity of the universe. There are two ways that Al-Ghazali contribute in this discussion. First, he make a proof about the concept of God, and the second one, he arguing against the views that he thinks unacceptable, such as views from Aristotle and Avicenna. They claim that the universe is eternal. Al-Ghazali agree with Avicenna, which is the universe has a beginning, but he totally rejected when Avicenna claimed that the universe is eternal. So Al-Ghazali's influence to other scholars, according to this argument, is Averroes. Averroes, he write a book which is entitled The Incoherence of the Philosophers, which is to against Al-Ghazali book that called The Incoherence of the Philosophers. He felt that the arguments of Al-Ghazali, which is very weak, lacked substance and foresight. So the sole purpose of his book was a rebuttal of the book of Al-Ghazali. And next we will proceed with our members about the meaning of eternity of the universe.
Rahmanirrahim. My name is Mashita binti Abdul Qadir, and now I will continue with the meaning of eternity of the universe by Al-Ghazali. Ghazali ardently upholds the traditional Kalam argument. The Kalam form of the cosmological argument was based in the traditional Ash'arites along with the Mu'tazilah arguments for God's existence, which is a demonstration of the universe as a created thing. He offers a proof against the eternity of the world, which in turn doubles as a proof for the existence of God. His first proof is whatever begins to exist has a cause. Next, the universe began to exist, and therefore the universe has a cause, which is God.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fatimah binti Abdul Syukur. I will present the next slide, theories on the origin of the universe. Okay, the first point is, according to Al-Ghazali, the word must not be qadim. This means that Allah always exists, whereas the world has not. Allah created the world, and the world exists alongside Allah. In other words, Allah as the creator is Qadim, while the world as the creature is Hadith, new. Allah Ghazali asserts that the world must not be Qadim. This means that Allah always exists, whereas the world has not. He claimed that if the word is Qadim, so it will lead to Shirik, because another existence exists in the same time of God. As we know, God exists in this world, and He was create everything without any help. But if the word is Qadim, then who was the one who created the world? Is it happen without any creator? No. Al-Ghazali claimed that the word Qadim itself contained the meaning of no beginning, never existed in the past. If the word is Qadim, that means it was never created, same as Allah. Although we know that only Allah is Qadim, and everything in this world, including the world, was created by God. Because of that, he claims only Allah is Qadim, why other than Him is Hadith. Okay, next, this word created by Allah with His absolute power and will, irada. That means that Allah can create anything that He want without asking for permission. Okay, according to Al-Ghazali, God has created this world from nothing to exist, which we call it as creation ex nihilo, which means the world was non-existent, then it existed. In other words, the world's existence is preceded by a time during which the world did not exist. Next is Al-Ghazali has highlighted two main points related to the existence of the world. First, he says that every hadith must have a cause. Second is the word is hadith. Okay, I will go first to the every hadith must have a cause, which means it needs a reason to be created by God from nothing to the existence, because Allah can create everything that He wants without any permission, and also can destroy it anytime. And everything that was created by God have own purpose. Okay, second, the word is hadith, which means everything except Allah is hadith, because it is not qadim, which means that only Allah is qadim. Okay, next is Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah also claim that this word is created by God and it is new. Okay, they do not agree with atheists and naturalists who say that this word happened by itself. Okay, to conclude, Al-Ghazali believes that the word is hadith. Okay, so it means the word exists by itself, not created by God. It is very impossible. This belief very contrary to the teaching of the Quran. So, because in the Quran it is very clearly stated that God who was created the whole universe, so we know that the word was created by God and the word existed due to the existence of God.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nazatun Najwa binti Muhammad Sani, and I will present about Al-Ghazali argument against the eternity of the universe. In his book Tahfu al-Falasifah, Al-Ghazali has something scathing criticism for Abu Sina, or in other words, Ibn Sina, and other followers who influenced by Aristotle. He believed that Abu Sina is committed to the following two claims, both of which are false and contrary to the Muslim faith. First, the universe is eternal. Second, God is not free. First, the universe is eternal. Abu Sina claims that every causes necessitate their effects. Based on the book Tahafut al-Falasifah, they said that is eternity, holding that it always coexisted with God as his effect, which was concurrent with him. In other words, whenever the cause is fully present and nothing is hindering the cause, then the effect must also be present. Or meaning,
concurrent or simultaneous with the cause. For example, when the sun is present, so is the cause of its lights. But if something is blocking its light, the light will be absent. So, Avicenna concludes that God is eternal, and He is the cause, then the effect of His creation must be eternal too. Second, God is not free. If God, the complete cause of the universe, has always existed, and effects must come into existence whenever their causes are fully present, then it seems as God did not create freely. Based on Avicenna's view, entails that God causes the world in much the same way as the sun causes light. It just necessarily flows or emanates out of Him. It will looks like He did not seem to have any choice in the matter, and God acts or wills only in the metaphorical sense, as a stone wills to move toward the ground. Next, for Al-Ghazali argument. Al-Ghazali did not completely disagree with Avicenna that if the universe does have a beginning, that it requires a necessary being to cause it. On the other hand, he rejects the claim that the universe was eternal, a beginningless series of contingent causes. It will require a necessary being to cause it. According to Avicenna, it will be absurd to deny that a collection of contingent beings must also be contingent, so that it too requires a causes. Like, for example, God is eternal, so the universe must eternal too. Then Al-Ghazali continue explain that he believed the universe come into existence out of nothing because of the eternal will of God, who determined that it come into existence at a particular time, and that it was God which determined that universe was originally in a state of non-existence, and that it remain in the state of non-existence until He decide that it will no longer be the case, and the universe will be created. If the universe is an effect of God, it will deprive Him from the ability to choose, which cause two contradiction. First, regarding God as a creator, and the second is God as God. A creator must create willingly, and by definition, God is a free will. It did not make Him change, either He creating or not creating.
Once again, my name is Mashita binti Abdul Qadir, and now I will continue with the relevance of Al-Ghazali's teaching in present times. The profundity, power, and comprehensiveness of his thought contained in some 50 different works, which are Ihya Ulumuddin, Tafahud al-Falasifa, and also Al-Munqidh min al-Alal, are still studied until today. Al-Ghazali remained alive and influential, even though there are few other great minds produced after his time. He also reinstated the principle of fear in religious thinking and emphasized the role of the Creator as the center around which human life revolves, and an agent intervening directly and continuously in the course of human affairs. Al-Ghazali's writing on education constitute the high point of thinking on the subject in the Islamic world. His theory of education, which he elaborated, is the most complete edifice relating to the field. It clearly defines the aims of education, lays out the path to be followed, and the means whereby the objective can be achieved. From the 12th until 19th century CE, Islamic thinking on education was heavily influenced by Al-Ghazali. Indeed, theoretical and practical educators, with few exceptions, hardly did anything other than borrow from Al-Ghazali and summarize his ideas and books. For example, the work by Az-Zamuji entitled Ta'alim al-Muta'allim Tariq al-Ta'allum, which is the teaching the student the method of study, is basically a compilation of passages from Al-Ghazali's Ihya Ulumuddin and Mizan al-Amal, reproduced literally with a few minor additions.